Well, hey, baby, jump over here when you do.
What is going on, folks? We're cranking out the rock and roll, going way back. We are going way, way back. Probably some of you have never been born, but if you can figure out who's doing the licks on this one, we'll get you a free trip somewhere, maybe around the block. Greg Angello here with you. We'd like to welcome you back to a long while Raised on Real Estate, the podcast series. We call it the RORE platform. We're going to be talking about some cool stuff that we got out there on our social media platform right now. We're going to talk a little bit about real estate. We're going to talk also about something brand new that we got for you. You know, you don't even have to go to the mailbox with this one, folks. You don't even have to go. That's how great it is. I'm telling you. So we're going to bring this one down just a little bit here so we can all have a nice conversation, all of us right here. So welcome back to the Raised on Real Estate platform. Greg Angello with you, and it's nice to have you here. So what has been going on, folks? So much has been happening. Some of you have been checking out social media that I've got. And we have been doing a lot of stuff on our Monday morning through Friday morning mindset motivation calls. And we've got a lot of people on it right now. We've changed the format. We've gone from a dial-in phone number to a live Facebook feed and also with Zoom. And then the stuff I think is put on the social media for YouTube. Okay, so that's really cool. So we encourage you to get on the platform to check it out. There's a link out there. We'll have it up on the platform where you can go click on it, and you can get to the live Facebook and also to the Zoom process. You can put in the passcode or all that stuff, and you can join us on that as well. So it's really cool. Brock Zivan. And we've also have another gentleman with us that's been part of us for a little bit, Christian. Christian is also leading now. He's going to be doing this, I believe, on Thursdays. I'm kind of doing this thing on Wednesday mornings as well, so it's kind of split up during the week with all of us. Real estate market, what have we been seeing since the last maybe 2.5, 3 months? Everyone's been talking about it. We've spoken about it before. And the market has been not drastically changed, at least here in North Carolina and down in part of South Carolina. But not really sure where you are in your part of the country, but inventory is still not where it was even, some years ago where we had just a banquet of properties on the market for sale. So now we're dealing with lack of inventory. There are a little bit more than what we've had in the past. But now we're dealing with more days on market. Days on market statistically for the last year or so, believe it or not, has been around 17 to 18 days. Now you may say, well, man, every time I put an offer in a property or go to a property, it's like under contract, like within hours. Well, that's probably true. But the National Association of Realtors, they take the national statistics of days on market and they combine them, right? It's not a localized statistic. So that number on the 17 and a half to 18 days is really what we went through on the very fast-moving market. But I'm going to tell you right now, we're seeing properties that are at least 21 on average right now, maybe 25 days. It depends. It depends on the price. It depends on the location. If it's a for sale by owner, we know those for sale by owners selling their homes are in a different tangible position than they are in the MLS. Because no one is really guiding them and giving them advice. Well, maybe so. Maybe they have friends that are realtors, or maybe they talk to other people and tell them about their pricing strategy. But what we normally see with for sale by owners is that they are very quick on the trigger to drop the price, like within maybe anywhere between sometimes 3 days, sometimes 7 days, but usually somewhere between 5 to 7 days, they're going to start dropping their price. It could be a couple grand. It could be $5,000. I've seen some drop $25,000 in a week. All the bells and whistles are going off. And then you talk to them and you go, so I see you just took $25,000 off your sale price. They really don't know what to say. They're like, yeah. And? You got someone that wants to buy it? Well, you want to have a conversation and say, well, why did you drop $25,000? Why did you just open up the trash can and just drop it in there and then say, okay, was your strategy to kick it up $25,000, $30,000, $40,000 above market price to see if you can get that price, and then you start coming down? Maybe that's a strategy. Or maybe they just don't know. Maybe they think that, we got to get this home sold. We got something we got to buy. I've got land that we've got under contract, and we got a home that we're going to be building with our builder, and we got to get the equity out, or we got to get the money for the down payment and for probably the construction loan that we need once we buy the land. You got the perk test you got to do on top of all that stuff. You've got a lot of costs and expenses if you're going to build your own property. Or maybe you're going after another home and you're under a contingency position, and it's like, we got to set the trigger on our house to get it sold so we can get the other one. So one of the things, though, that we've been discussing, even from the lender perspective, which I'm not a lender, just to let you all know, I'm a real estate agent, I'm a realtor, real estate broker, North Carolina, South Carolina, is that there are some people we talk to that's like, well, the interest rates are high, so I'm going to wait. Or home pricing are still high, so I'm going to wait. So if you're sitting in a rental position month after month after month, paying the rent $1,800, $1,900, some are paying $2,500 a month, you have to look at that like in 6 months, how much is that going to cost you in rent versus on a 5.5% to 6% mortgage interest rate to secure a property now. Do you think you're going to lose the money on an interest rate that you thought you could have had 3-4 months ago when it was 3-4% because now it's just a point or point and a quarter or a half more? You're losing out on your home ownership equity by taking the what I really call is good mortgage debt, having good mortgage debt versus having just debt with no bottom, right? That's really the way it is. And many people, unfortunately, are renting because they couldn't get a home in the last year and a half or the last year, or they came down in 6 months and they were in this really convoluted market and they couldn't do anything about it. They were lost out on almost everything, on every deal that they put an offer in. And some of them have lost thousands and thousands of dollars, especially in North Carolina, on a due diligence fee if they walked out of the property during the due diligence period and they handed over their cash. Here's $15,000. And then they're like, you know what? We can't buy this home. We just can't do it. We got to walk. There goes your $15,000. That's what we've been through. So one, we're not seeing high due diligence fees. You got to take that into account because if you were coming up with $25,000, $15,000, whatever it is, we've put some in at more than that, $50,000, $75,000. So you're not dealing with that. Maybe we're looking at 3 to 5, maybe 3 to 7,000. Due diligence fees, earnest money deposit on top of that, maybe another $3,000. So maybe $7,000 to $10,000 total coming in with your down payment. Do you think that that's better than waiting for the market to possibly shift in the next 12 to 18 months because you think you may get a better price on a home? But again, if you're looking at $1,800 to $2,500 a month in rent in a year, so there goes your $20,000 that you would have had saved up for your due diligence money to the seller. So I want you to think about that. That is very, very important because it's the mindset that many buyers are very, very hard to wrap around their brain to say, well, I just don't like the atmosphere. We lost out maybe 6 months ago. I don't know if we should go do it again. That's why you need an experienced agent with skill sets who's going to have a conversation with you about it. Okay, a little bit on this podcast here. I want to talk to you about this program that I have been introduced to by someone that I really appreciate. I didn't know who this person was. I think we met at some sort of a get-together. There was a broker event. Man, I think it was like 2021. I'm not sure because there was a Facebook messenger from him some time ago, and then that was probably close to maybe almost 2 years ago, or maybe it was a year and a half. I'm not sure. Get a card in the mail, which was my birthday at the end of July. So we got back, my wife and I, we were in Mexico. We were in Playa del Carmen. We were gone for about 6 days. It was my birthday. We also celebrated a little bit of our pre-anniversary of a 10-year that's coming up in November. Long story. So I get this card in the mail. I don't know who it is. Sometimes I think it's from a mortgage lender or it's from an insurance person. So I open it up, and there's a card. It's got a picture of me and my son Isaac that I have on my Facebook account. It's a picture of me and him. That's primary pictures on there. And then he had some other pictures in the card of my son and the two of us. And it was like, Greg, just wishing you a happy belated birthday. I just wanted to, thank you for friendship and all this stuff. And if you need anything, let me know. Great to meet you at the event some time ago, Brian. So I'm looking at this thing. And I'm like, man, this is pretty cool. I mean, he's got pictures of me on Facebook with me and my son. What are you going to do with that card? You're not going to throw it away. Because you don't throw away cards that people send you with your picture on it, with you and your family. You just don't do it. I mean, if it's one of these cards that, happy birthday, thinking of you, you might put it in somewhere in a box. But this was really cool. So what do you think I did? Well, I had to reach out to him and thank him about it. I said, man, that was really cool, man. I really like the way you put that together. That's friends on Facebook. I really like that. That's cool. And then he started sending me some other stuff. Like a link to where the card was made, which was SendOutCard. So this is where I'm going with all this. SendOutCard.com is the company that he uses, and it is a company that's been around since 2006. I'm going to have all the information up for you on our platform and how you can look at this information. And this is something that I normally do in my real estate business, but it's all manual. The one guy on our team, Brock, and we've had others in our team, our goal is to try to do 5 cards a day. Well, that's not easy. It's not, because first of all, you got to get the card. You got to maybe look at the right one. And if you don't have any cards, then you got to go out and get them. Then you got to get out the card. You got to remember, okay, I'm sending this person I talked to. They're really nice. Hopefully I'll be able to get a listing appointment. They were really nice on the phone. I'm going to send them a card. On the outside, it may be, maybe it's a picture of a building or, a house, or, we don't send out welcome homes to someone we actually haven't put them in a home. But there are those real estate ones that you can do that where it says welcome home and home anniversary things, which a lot of agents use. But again, it's all manual. So then you got to open up the card and you got to write their name, Dear Bill and Nancy. It was really nice talking to you on the phone today. You got a great property. I would really love an opportunity to be able to come out to your property, tour your home, and really show you what we could do to maximize the value of your home and your equity. When would be a good time? Or let's set a date, or I'll reach out to you in a week, or whatever. You do all that, now your writing may not be so good, or the pen you're using runs out of ink, or you make a mistake, or you misspell a word, which is easy to do. I'm not the total English major. I do misspell words every now and then. There's no autocorrect when you're doing it by yourself, writing it down manually. So then what do? Oh, man, I screwed up. So you take it and you tear up the card and you get another one. And you got to start all over again. Think about that now. Put that on the shelf along with having to go get the card, along with the envelope and the right type of card that you may not have in your possession. All right, now you got those two things. Now you got to have the stamps. You may be out of stamps. Then you got to go to the post office. And you know what that's like now. Got to stand in line. I don't know if they're still doing 6 feet distance and all that stuff. I don't know. I haven't been to the post office in probably a year and a half. Last time I had to go there, it was not a good experience, and I really don't want to go back. Now you don't even have to go to a post office. You don't have to get stamps. You don't need envelopes. You don't need to write the cards. You don't need to write down, Dear Mr. and Mrs. Smith at 125 Main Street. What's this? Oh, is that the right zip code? Oh, I put 48122. I put 48124. So now got to throw out the envelope, and now you got to get another one. You just wasted throwing away money. So on the send out cards, you don't have to do any of that stuff. I mean, you got to write it and have the address and your address. But when you're typing it and have autocorrect, it's really not a problem, especially when you can copy and paste their address from either a business, from their home, from anything, if it's a mortgage lender that you want to send a card to, or another realtor, or whoever it is, normally you can look up their address or their business. It's very, very easy to do that. And I'm like, man. The other cool thing about that is that it doesn't have just to do with business. It's all about for family, friends. People are traveling. You want to thank someone for something. Kids going back to school. I sent one to my son. I know he lives with us. He's only 7 years old. But I sent him a card. Going to second grade. It's got a bus on it. It's really cool. And I wrote him a really nice note, with him and my wife about how much we are excited about him going into the second grade. Just proud of him for getting through his first grade, which was good. And we know how it could be in his mind. It's a whole new thing. Am I going to like it? So we just wanted to encourage him and give him our love. So we write it on the card. And pictures of him and I, pictures of him and me and my wife and the three of us together. That's keepsake stuff, man. He's not going to, years from now, he's going to look at that. And he's going to say, wow, my parents sent me this stuff to me at our home when I was 7, going into second grade. And here's pictures of me when I was 7 years old or 6, whatever it is. But it's cherishable, man. It's cherishable stuff. And so that's why I think it's so profound to get into doing this thing. Because you can't manually take a picture off Facebook and put it on a card unless you cut it out. You got to have a color printer. You got to get the tape. If you get the glue stick, man, put all that stuff and make sure it's all smooth. And is that what you're going to send out? I mean, this is not the second grade where we're, posting stuff on a piece of paper with, a little picture with the glue. This ain't elementary. Can't be doing that stuff. You get what I'm telling you. You get what I'm saying. And so that's why I think it is so cool to use this thing. I just sent this one to one of the people that was on our podcast, Kathy. Kathy was our health instructor, fitness instructor person. I just sent it to her. She's got just probably a boatload of people that's in her arsenal from her clients, her past clients, future clients, friends, family. And, can you imagine just signing up today in the exercise class? They're paying, I don't know how much, a monthly fee for her to train them. And she sends them a thank you card or something about that, or even have something inside the card. You can put something inside the card besides a picture and have some stuff written. You can have a scratch-off lottery ticket, $1 scratch-off lottery ticket if you wanted to. Nobody's going to tell you no. And the other cool thing about this, there are gifts that you can send along with the cards. There's another platform. We'll have those for you. The pricing platforms, and I'm telling you, folks, this is not a lot of money. For the amount of money that you have to take to write the cards out, do all that stuff, get the postage, go to the mailbox, all the mistakes you may make, throwing out a card, starting over, everything I just mentioned, the average monthly fee for the unlimited now, get this, unlimited a month with the postage, with the envelope, anywhere in the world that has an address. It's not just inside the continental United States. Anywhere in the world. Put the postage on it, it'll go. Now, they're going to factor out what the postage is. You don't have to worry about that. You're not going to have to get the scale and figure out how much postage you need. You don't have to worry about that either. Now, put that on the shelf, too. Adding all those up. So think about that. How many people can she touch from her exercise business coming into her gym, even people that are signing up on her app program that may be in New York, California, Wisconsin, it doesn't matter. She could be sending them a card because they signed up and she can look them up. And if they have a Facebook account, which most people do, I think there's probably close to, I'm sure that she can get some nice pictures or just pictures of the gym or whatever it is and send it out. Or send stuff out to friends and family. The other thing that's really cool about this thing, we're going to talk about this at another time, is that you can send out groups. I'm not talking about thousands at one time, but I think at one of the platform posts, it's the unlimited, the second one. So the one I just mentioned, which is the middle one for the unlimiteds, is $97 a month. That's all it is. And you can do your first card for free. They don't even charge you for that. It's like, wow. But if you go to the next level, which I think be 147, I have to look it up. I should look it up here. That you can send out, I think, 100 a month for free, which means what? Let's just say you're a realtor and you just sold a home in a neighborhood. Now, we've got that just sold cards. That's fine. You can do that. But let's just say there's some other homes in that neighborhood. You can hit, say there's 25 in there. You can personalize every single one of those because you have the information. I know how to get the data. I got the geo-farming. I know everyone in the neighborhoods. I know their names. I know their phone numbers. I can call them up, talk to them a little bit, see if they got a Facebook page. There's no rule that says you can't take a picture off of it, put it in a card, and send it to them. Not only that, but if you had a testimonial from your client when you sold that home in that neighborhood, you can take that testimonial and you can put it in that card and then send it to the neighbors. If you want to send 25 at one time, boom, there they go. And you know what? That's what agents are doing. It is transforming their business. There are some agents around the country right now that are using SendOutCards, and they're really not even making any phone calls anymore. Maybe to say hello and how are you, but it's not like, I need to get a listing, because they're using the card system to get the listing. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's a great idea. There is a video out there. We'll see about that to get it up on the platform. But there's an agent. I think she's a mortgage lender, a mortgage loan officer. She's in Texas. She started this program some years ago. 71% of her business is generated through SendOutCards. That's what she says on the video. What can that do for you? It could do a lot. And it's fun. People are excited when they get that. They appreciate it. They thank you for it. I've sent out cards, handwritten cards, that I try to be creative. I'm not just saying, hey, this is Greg. I'm a realtor in the area. I'd like to meet you. I write other things. It's difficult for me to write them all out, handwriting, because then it's like, that's too much. I said too much. I got to start over. Now I got to get another card. And that's what happens. That's what I think that is so cool about that. And that's why I wanted to share this on this podcast. So, and I've done a video for it. You can go to my Facebook page, check it out. I've done a video about it. I show the cards, and maybe I'll get some pictures if I can get those on the platform with Buzzsprout, and we can put those cards, pictures of those cards that I've done for my son, and also one for my wife, because she's in a travel business. My wife is a travel agent. She's a very, very good travel agent. She's a great travel agent with Angello Luxury Travel. She does a lot of international travel packages for people, right? Because Virtuoso, if you go to AngelloLuxuryTravel.com, Virtuoso is one of the top luxury travel sites in the world, basically. You can actually book a spaceship ticket. You can buy one of those things for a blast-off excursion. I mean, it's a lot of money. I think it's like $250,000 minimum. But it's on there. There's not too many websites in travel that do that, but Virtuoso does. Anyway, I sent my wife a thank you card for our trip to Mexico because she put it all together. She had a great deal. It saved us, just the whole inclusive package, travel, the hotel, everything was included, meals, everything was such a great deal because my wife, she's connected to all the suppliers, to all the people at Wyndham and American Airlines and all of those things. She gets all the deals. But I sent her a card to thank her because she saved us probably about $2,700 on what would have been probably over $5,000 for the two of us to travel. Direct flight, by the way. Direct flight from Charlotte to Cancun, which was about 2.5 hours. I can't get to Myrtle Beach in my car in 2.5 hours, but I can get to Mexico, in a one-way run. So think about that. You may be in the travel business. That is an awesome platform with SendOutCards to do that. But the other thing is, and I'm going to end it here in just a bit. The other thing is that there is a way that you become an affiliate. You may not make a gagillion amount of money like Bitcoin or, with all that other stuff going out there right now, but there is an affiliate. And also for, even if you don't get into the affiliate, which I think is only $14 more a month, it's going to basically pay for your could pay for your whole thing for the whole year. I mean, you keep telling people about it, like what we're doing, it's going to pay for itself. So you may not even have a monthly subscription fee to it. Now, there's no contract. There's not signing up for 6 months. It's none of that stuff. You just go on there. You get the membership, the platform, or the one that you want. I think there's a minimum one. I think it's under $50, $97, and then the other one that's under $150. That's what I want to tell you about today. You got to do it. Check it out. And then tell other people about it. You may be working in a team, in a real estate team, and you may have 25, 30 agents under you. You may have 40. You may have 5. Get them all signed up, man. And then get all those lenders that you're working with. Or have your people start doing that. Because it's all going to trickle back to you if you're in the lead position. It's all going to start going back to you. You're in the front position. You got other people coming in. Revenue, income, monthly revenue, income stream. That's what it is. You can't go out to the store, buy a card, mail it, write it out, mail it, and then get credit for that. Not that way. But with this way you can. All right, we're going to wrap this one up. I really appreciate you all being here. Those of you that's been in our podcast community, I completely apologize. It's been kind of a hectic time over the last 2 months. And it does happen. I've said it before. It does take time. I shouldn't have any excuses about it. But I am moving more towards the YouTube, the videos. I think I can get a larger reach of people, even though I really love doing the podcast with the radio thing. This is a radio thing for me, right? I think that's kind of cool. And I enjoy doing it. This doesn't pay the bills, man. Maybe some people that are up there that are cranking this thing out, that this is all they're doing all the time. That's great. But, as a leisure activity, it's okay. So that's it. But we got people all over the United States. And we got people outside of in other parts of the world, in 5 other continents, who do listen to us when we publish our podcast. That's what I got for you today. I want to thank you all for being here, and we wish you the best. Remember, staying focused on a daily routine every single day. You keep doing the same thing over and over again. Consistency. Consistency wins the day. Start up early in the morning. You keep going. You don't have to burn the candles at both ends. You don't have to do that. But if you stay consistent and maybe just add a little bit more each day, it doesn't matter what it is. Maybe if you start out sending out 3 cards, the next week you want to do maybe add another card, whatever it is. Or if in our business, making calls. We're talking to a lot of people now that are trying to figure out how they're going to make money in real estate, because the market it's not upside down, but it is more difficult than it was when you can just put a sign in a window and it's sold. And a lot of agents are challenged because they don't know what to do. Or they're afraid to move forward, even to pick up the phone and call someone. I'm talking to an agent right now. I mean, they're just petrified to pick up the phone and call someone. But I can tell you, I call anybody right now. I was fearful before. But what they're going to say, I ain't worried about that anymore. All they can do is say no and hang up. But even when they do, you know what I do? I'm saying, well, what is that? What does the no mean? Is the no mean you don't want to talk to me? Or is it a no because you just don't know what you want to do? And you'd be surprised when they stop and they hesitate and they go, well, I don't know. When you get that, that's an open door for you to walk in. When you get an I don't know, that's a lead position. You just I'm opening up the door, I'm walking in. Start asking questions. That's all you got to do. You don't have to talk about yourself. All you have to do is ask questions. And they will talk, and they will talk, and they will talk. Just write that stuff down. So you know what? Everything you're saying makes absolute sense to me. Let's sit down and have a conversation. Look at your property and see what's going to be best for you and your family. We get this home listed. All right, that's what I got. Thank you so much again. Greg Angello with you, the podcast series, Raised on Real Estate. Love you all. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you all soon. Take care.